Alright, welcome back to Nick Lenz, Comic Corner Classsics, known Classics. This is episode number 3507 and Dobuelshot number 3401. I have one Marvel trade and one Image trade. Mainly because basically it's more a bit horror based. Basically, both these two, I figured why not group these two together. First, we have the Mighty Valkyries. All hell let loose. Yep. And here's the interesting thing. Did you know the Mighty Valkyries has the legacy numbering from Jane Foster Valkyrie? Yes. Yes, indeed it does. So, yeah, in case you're curious, this legacy numbering for this book is start to issue 15. So this continues from the King of Black Return of the Valkyries miniseries I have reviewed already. So basically issue 1 is issue 15, and this is 5 issues. So by the final issue of this book, the book is only basically gone up to issue number 19. Pretty much basically is just Valkyrie. Well, this is Jane Foster Valkyrie, excuse me. The book is written by Jason Torn Graybuck. I haven't met Torn Graybuck, but man, oh man. It is. And this lady here is actually the writer currently of Catwoman. It's doing a fantastic job with the book. So basically, a lot of this book is basically, well, well, we're introduced to a brand new character here named Moore, who is a wolf. Yes, a wolf. Yep, a original character. And by the way, his father is Ferris. Ferris Wolf, as in, according to lore, this creature, by the way, this creature is a creation seen like Jack Kirby. It's an offspring and of Loki. Yes. And a giant. For those of you curious, though, about Loki, whenever you see him currently in the comics, yeah, that is not the original Loki. That's not the actual Loki. The original Loki has been dead for some time. The one currently seen in the comics is a copy. Yes. It's an incarnation of him. Yeah, he's been reincarnated. He still refers to himself as Thor's brother. Yes. Yeah. So, yeah. Basically, it's a babies. It's very interesting stuff artwork here they have here. Yes. And we have Jane Foster. I think this is with Doctor Strange. Yes, because she's a doctor, he is a doctor too. And by the way, in case you're curious, the book was released the book itself was released in April 2021. So this is during the period of time where Doctor Strange first became a doctor once again. So you could say this is one of his few appearances he made prior to his actual death in the Death of Doctor Strange miniseries. And and throughout this book, basically, it's just a continuation of the Jane Foster books, of the previous two Valkyrie books, where just Jane Foster as Valkyrie goes to like the morgue, and first basically Doctor Strange, and me of this other guy. It's not Thor. For some reason, the artist likes drawing Hela with this face of hers. Despite like Hela, she's picked this very beautiful woman. This is how the artist draws Hela's face. Makes her a little bit older. Not sure why. It's just that's how she is. Now, Jane Foster does a great job drawing her. Makes her a very beautiful woman. A woman who survived cancer, mind you. But Hela, who's picked as one of the most beautiful women in comics. Oh, lady. Yes. Don't know why. And then, of course, then she transforms into Valkyrie. Because Loki is there, and we have this thing called Mor, which is apparently, in a way, kind of Loki's grandson. So then, of course, basically we have... So this here is the human form of Mor. Yes, this is Loki's grandson. Yep. And then we see this woman with big poofy hair. Who is this woman, might ask? This woman is Hela's wife. And you're like, is Hela a lesbian? It's never been clearly defined what gender she likes. This was a marriage of circumstance. She, at first, was involved with Thanos. This was revealed in the... this was the lead up to War of the Realms, where basically in order to get back her domain, which was taken up by Angela, she had to get married to somebody. Originally with Thanos, but Thanos is like, nope, not interested. And because Cruella was there, she decided to marry Hela. Yep. And she's with some sleep little god. Now, is this baby like an offspring of hers? No, not really. By the way, who created Queen Karna? Stan Lee. I wonder how he would have felt though that one of his female characters got married to another female character of his. And she's actually deceased as of Thor 700. Yep, they had her die, but she's still here. By the way, came out in 2021. Her death was in 2017, so yeah, it's fine. And we go to another part of the galaxy, where we go to some planet and we run into, I kid you not, the Tessa Thompson Valkyrie. Yep, she is here. You're like, wait, why is Tessa Thompson here? Well, this is a character based on her. As a matter of fact, this is the second Valkyrie based on her, because the original one was picked in Exile. So, why not? Let's have her throw in here. And she's a Valkyrie, and it was brought into the book, oh, like, what about the other Valkyries? They're all dead. They got killed by Malekith in War of the Realms #2, and Raxon, in their infinite wisdom, to make news as basically calling the Valkyries cosplayers. Yes, the fearsome female warriors, cosplayers. Now, that is Jason Aaron poking fun at some news, some people misunderstanding stuff. By the way, that could be Jason Aaron poking fun of the Wonder Woman anime movie. Where, get this, so in the anime movie, when the Amazons are saving DC from, I think demons, A reporter refers to the Amazons as a bunch of models. Yes, seriously. Calling female warriors who are all drop dead gorgeous as models. Yes, models that tend to be very beautiful, but they're not fearsome warriors. So yeah, we have more stuff with the gods, and this is the area itself, basically, she's in. Kind of into the place seeing Thor, Love, and Thunder, but it's... And of course, basically, it's like her name is Runa. Yeah. And then we have stuff here with Kurna, who is hanging out with Loki's grandson, who Jane Foster has to deal with. And for some weird reason, now, they made Jane Foster, when she becomes Valkyrie, be a lot more muscle. I don't mind the muscle. It's fine with her. Anyways. And of course, then she has Thor's axe and does the splits in the air. Yeah, where she freezes one god, beats people up, and then we run into Kraven the Hunter. You look at him and like, is that the same one Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created? Well, let me answer that question for you, since this is issue number 2. Is this the same one, or is this basically the clone? Nope, this is in fact the clone. Yes. And for some weird reason, I have no idea what I was doing for, he's drawn to look like the actual Kraven the Hunter, the one who is dead. Yeah, he's been dead at this point for 3 years. And for some weird reason, we have the drum look like the actual Kraven the Hunter, despite the fact this is not actually him. It's a clone. Yes, his coat is real. Kind of his coat, his real official name is the Last Son of Kraven, because it was revealed in Nick Spencer's his run for his experiment that Kraven's daughter despises him, and in fact both their sons are both dead. Actually, all 3 of his sons are dead. It was like, I gotta have another son, so he goes visit the High Evolutionary to create a bunch of clones. And this is the only one who survived, because they all killing each other. So you can best, and of course he's like smiling, trying to shoot them. Oh, one way you can kind of describe this miniseries here, it's sort of a semi-continuation of what Jason Aaron was establishing in the pages of his run for Thor. Now, mind you, this is a side miniseries. And by the way, I think he started doing Jane Foster Thor, I think it was just after he wrapped up his run for Thor. The Jane Foster Valkyrie book. Yes. So, yeah, this is more of the stuff, basically. And by the way, no Thor in this book. And by the way, she's writing Pegasus. Of course she is. And then we see Hela once again, where I think I was finally remembered the fact that she's supposed to be gorgeous, because they finally fixed her face where she's depicted more normally instead of pick like some old granny cosplaying as her. Oh no, she's back basically with this face again. I'm like, why? Why in the world would the artist do this for this character? The character is so beautiful, and we have to pick her as an older lady. Why? And basically all about with woman being here, and the way the artist draws, like with his very skin tight outfits. And basically it's always being hysterical, and then you think with the cover issue 4, like, oh, is Thor going to appear in this book? No, not really. Yeah. Oh, he is here. Except, one thing I do appreciate, though, because, here's the thing. Who was the writer of Thor when this book came out? Donny Cates, who actually had a very interesting run for Thor. I personally didn't have a problem with it. I didn't like as much of his Hulk book, but I did enjoy his Thor book. I thought it was amazing. I actually got all the traits for it. I thought it was really good. It was kind of weird, though. He just kind of disappeared after what happened with the Banner of War stuff. He left, turned Grunberg briefly to go to the book, and then Al Ewing became the writer of Thor, who's been the writer ever since then. Though, what happened with him is kind of weird, what happened with Donny Cates. So, I've heard various things. The fact that he went through a depression, he got divorced, and he got into an accident. Yes. He also apparently injured I think I heard he injured his face in the accident. And I also heard he didn't mention this at all, but he had suffered through partial memory loss. Yes. Amazing writer like Donny Cates. I still think he's an amazing writer. I do appreciate that he did manage to come back after being gone briefly to finish up both books. I think as far as I can tell, when he wrapped up both for Hulk and Thor, I don't think he's done anything since then. I have heard also that he was supposed to write the Ultimate Universe books. Yes, that's according to the story I've heard. And he apparently was given a loan to start the line, but then he just abandoned it and then just didn't bother to... This is stuff I've heard. He's never stated at all. Of course, we have Thor here with Lady Sif. Briefly. And then we have Jane Foster become Valkyrie once again with longer hair. It's weird that when she's basically in regular non-Valkyrie form, her hair is short, while she's Valkyrie, her hair is long, like when she was Thor. And Rune is basically welcome back here. And then we have where Thor basically just mentions, oh, isn't that my axe? And Kurt's like, Krilla! I am here, my wife. What is going on, Krilla? Oh, Krilla, what have you done? Dear gods, Krilla, what have you done? No, children. Mean lady. Yes, refer to the goddess of death as mean lady. Yeah. And a lot of it for Jane Foster, she is just chatting with Loki's grandson. Then Hela has a spat basically with her wife over these kids. And then, of course, Mor proceeds to get stabbed by Kraven the Hunter. Oh, Kraven's son. And, of course, we have Rune going to the Library of Asgard. And then, of course, basically, Karuna basically gets stabbed. And basically, she gets stabbed by bones of a dragon. Yes. Going to the last issue where she has to deal with this. And, of course, Jane Foster is here to help out Hela because Valkyries work for Hela. I think that the only Valkyrie that's still alive aside from Jane Foster is Danny Moonstone, who I believe still got her powers. Fights the dragon with Rune. And then we have a giant wolf who I believe it's Mor, who is Loki's grandson, who just eats a bunch of stuff. It's like bad queens. He's huge. Loki's just doing stuff, and then Then apparently, like, Moore just kisses her helmet and then just puts her finger on the chin. I'll deal with Grandpa. Yes, his grandpa being Loki. So, since in fact that Loki is in fact his grandfather, that means Thor is his great uncle. Now, the thing is, most comic fans may or may not know this. I mean, some longtime fans do know this. Thor briefly dated Jane Foster. I mean, not just in the movies, it's actually back in the 60s, but they haven't think it's the 60s, so. Yeah. And then, of course, basically, Loki does whatever. Then we have where Rune just with this older lady, and that's it. I think overall, I think that's it for the Valkyrie books. For Jane Foster Valkyrie, I believe that's it because, okay, the book that came, this is kind of weird though. Oh yeah, so basically every next book is Jane Foster Mighty Thor, which I have reviewed, and that's it. So as of now, I am officially done reviewing Jane Foster Jane Valkyrie. Overall, these books are good. It's nice the fact Jason Aaron wrote everything, because why not? He the one who did this, so why not? But this miniseries overall was really good. I give it roughly 9 out of 10. Next up we have is Universal Monsters, The Invisible Man. Yep, James Tynion IV writes The Invisible Man. Jack Griffin. Artist by Danny. Yeah, same artist. So, mostly put, it's kind of set in the timeline of the movie. We have a guy get strangled, and we have the classic Invisible Man from the movies. Basically, you kind of think of this miniseries here as sort of a loose adaptation of the movies. But I just recommend checking the book out. It's a book just really good. There's a lot of good suspense here. Like, the books started really well, and that's it. Discuss here when it comes to that one. It's overall a really good book. Okay, so that's pretty much up to the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications.
What's most important?
Next up is basically going to be, well, Spaceship Guy Infinity. Okay, next video. Bye.